Mountain Empire, this is your wrestling.
Never before have I turned on you, you look so good to me. You be the eyes that could cut me in two, and I just can't let you be. But it's a free-for-all and a height of sin. You can bet your life, stakes are high and so am I. It's in the air tonight, yeah, yeah.
Welcome to another edition of Southern States Wrestling Classics from the Vault. Bo James here with you, and today we're going to talk about one of the most well-traveled, one of the most well-decorated tag teams. I'm talking about Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, and their time right here in Southern States Wrestling. No team has lasted as long as Ricky and Robert has together, over 30 years. 8 different World Tag Team titles, not to mention Mid-South, Smoky Mountain, Southern, and all kinds of other regional tag team titles. Ricky Morton started appearing here in Southern States Wrestling in the summer of 1995, and a little less than a year later, Robert Gibson started appearing with him in Southern States Wrestling. What we want to do to kick the program off, we're going to take a look at the Rock and Roll Express in 6-man tag from WrestleFest 2002, the sold-out Civic Auditorium in Kingsport, Tennessee, as they team up with Tim Horner, another well-known wrestler here from East Tennessee, and battle Buddy Landel, KC Thunder, and Ricky Rockett. So let's take a look at that right now.
The team of the Rock and Roll Express and White Lightning Tim Horner. KC Thunder's been tagged in the ring. It looks like he's getting ready to lock up with Ricky Morton here as Morton grabs the arm now, winding up on the arm of KC Thunder, and he's separating the fingers. That's a very painful move there, Mike.
They don't care what the Rock and Roll Express does, because the Rock and Roll Express has always been what it is.
No doubt about that. Double back elbow there by the Rock and Roll. Robert Gibson went over there and caught Landel with a shot while he was asleep on the apron, as KC Thunder now, like a ping pong ball, getting bounced all around him there, as all 3 members of the team of the Rock and Roll and Horner having their turn with Thunder. KC now set up, Irish whip into the ropes. Gibson catches him with a punch to midsection. Horner up and over his man, got him rolled up. Mac McMurray in and only got a 2 count out of that situation. KC's back on his feet, grabs the arm of White Lightning Tim Horner, makes the tag to Ricky Rockett. Rockett's coming in via the top rope, crashing down on the arm of Tim Horner, Mike.
Rockett's working on there. What happened to him right now, Joe? And there comes Robert Gibson in, as well as KC Thunder stood back in. And I tell you what, he's going to be an all-out war here before the third.
No doubt about it, as Horner now in no man's land. Buddy Landel's got hold of him. Looks like he's choking him there. KC Thunder getting some shots in as well. Referee Mac McMurray over there trying to break things up, as the Nature Boy, Buddy Landel, into the action here legally for the first time in this matchup. And just measured Horner with that shot. And he's setting him up again. It looks like he's measured him again. Another stinging right hand. And Landel took the time to tell us this is the best punch in the business.
I'll tell you what, Buddy Landel and Tim Horner they know each other well, and I tell you what, he doesn't like the Rock and Roll Express either. Buddy Landel he's flamboyant, he doesn't care, and now he's like the Rock and Roll Express, Joe. And he's starting to work up on him. He's making the kids and being done by the Rock and Roll Express, and I tell you what, this is something that you just don't do, Joe.
Good point there, Mike, no doubt about it, as Scotty Ace getting his cheap shots in there on Tim Horner, as Landel was distracting the referee and the Rock and Roll Express here. Landel now moving in on Horner, setting him up in. He's got him in the abdominal stretch, and Landel putting all the pressure he can on it. Landel even grabbing the top rope, using that extra leverage to get all the leverage he can on the situation, as once again Landel utilizing the rope. No doubt about that. His history in the world of wrestling very well documented, as Buddy Landel is without question a true established veteran and a regular competitor here in Southern States Wrestling. He's made the tag now. Blind tag been made to Ricky Rockett. Horner never saw the tag, and Rockett now working him over with a series of double axe handles. And now all three members of the team working over Horner in the corner as Ricky Morton now in. He nails Rockett there, and Ricky Morton now going to work on KC Thunder. Tim Horner paired off with Buddy Landel. Robert Gibson's got Ricky Rockett. It's breaking down all over the ring, Mike.
Ricky Rockett, here it comes, doing the double drop. And this should be it, man.
The past 20 years, Ricky Morton has appeared here in Southern States Wrestling many times, holding tag team titles with Bobby Fulton, formerly the Fantastics, and myself along the way, and also chased some singles titles here in Southern States Wrestling. What we want to do now is go back to the 20th anniversary of Southern States Wrestling, Kingsport, the old armory there, as he goes after the All-Star title, and Pretty Boy Stan Lee, who has always been a foe of Ricky Morton's here in Southern States Wrestling. So let's go back to the 20th anniversary of Southern States Wrestling and see if Ricky Morton could wrestle the All-Star title away from Stan Lee.
And NWA All-Stars up in Virginia, running some great shows. But look at this. Ricky Morton goes in a little bit overzealous, and that could have popped a shoulder out of place, Joe.
No doubt about that, as Morton hit that top turnbuckle with a lot of velocity there. And Stan Lee, being the experienced wrestler that he is, after grabbing a handful of hair, he's staying focused right on that arm, as the crowd here in Kingsport, Tennessee is coming alive with the chant of rock and roll. They still love Ricky Morton, no doubt about that. As Stan Lee now with a top wrist lock, and Morton with a nice kip up right there into a reversal, and Stan Lee with a handful of hair takes Morton right back down to the canvas as Stan Lee is controlling Rock and Roll Express Ricky Morton. Referee's got a tough job in there, Dylan. They can't have eyes in the back of their head.
They can't have eyes in the back of their head, and they can't hear anything at all that's going on in there. Ricky Morton, Rock and Roll Express. I don't think you could hear the rock and roll music going on for these fans here in Kingsport. What a crowd tonight on their feet. They are electric for what is going on in the squared circle right now.
Stan Lee, whether you like him or not, he's making a good decision as he's tried to ground Ricky Morton. And Ricky, he can fly if he needs to, but if you can take a man off his feet and keep him there for any length of time, then you've done something. Well, a big boot running into the corner and caught him right in the mush, Joe. And Ricky Morton now looking like picking up some speed and a high knee lift.
Morton caught his man there with a high knee lift right to the face as Sweet Stan Lee finds himself in a lot of trouble. Oh, and he goes to a rake of the eyes right there, and big full body slam on Morton as he drove him into the canvas. Stan Lee apparently feeling real cocky and real good at this point in time. He's going up in that high risk territory, and he's not too well known for that. And Morton caught him with a shot right to the top of the head. Morton now, he's got him set up here. Brings him down with a big full body slam from that top rope as Stan Lee finds himself in a lot of trouble. Oh, wait a minute. Referee and Ricky Morton just collided right there. Stan Lee shoved Morton into him. This is getting crazy. Dylan, he's got the heavyweight title.
He's got that belt. He just decked Ricky Morton across the forehead with that title. Referee didn't see it. Referee crawling over. One. Referee.
He counted three. He was counting as he was crawling over. That's it, I believe. Stan Lee, he's got the belt.
Yeah. Well, fans, I'll tell you what a mess. Let's get the oh, wait a minute, referees. He's not allowing this here. Oh, wait a minute, he just raised Morton's hand.
Can a title change handle a disqualification?
No, I don't believe this title change is probably going to be a disqualification. Yeah, he's disqualifying him.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the contest via disqualification, Rock and Roll Ricky Morton. Still your NWA All-Star champion, Stan Lee.
Well, Stan Lee keeps the belt, but he's going to go home tonight with the loser's end of the purse as the referee. I thought he was counting three, Joe, as he was crawling over. I think he was crawling towards the belt. Ricky Morton picks up the victory here, fans. We got more action to come right here on the Super Bowl of Mountain Empire Wrestling, the 20th anniversary of Southern States Wrestling. Fans, don't go away. We'll be back right after this.
We're getting ready to take a fast break here as you're watching this run down memory lane of the Rock and Roll Express in Southern States Wrestling. We're going to come back with a great tag team match as Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the North American Tag Team titles, defending against the Southern States Tag Team Champions, and Frank Parker, Scott Sterling, and in their corner was the man you just saw Ricky tangle with, Pretty Boy Stan Lee. Now as we go to break, we're going to tell you about some upcoming events here in 2016 as Southern States Wrestling celebrates their 25th anniversary. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Bring the entire family as it's fun for everyone. Calvary Baptist Church presents Village Fest 2016. Saturday, July 9th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Borden Park, 901 Lamont Street, Kingsport, Tennessee. Inflatables for the kids. Pony rides, games, face painting, all free to the public. Also free while supplies last. Hot dogs, snow cones, watermelon, popcorn, chips, drinks, and more. Entertainment includes live music starting at 10 a.m. Ministry 29 presents a pro wrestling card featuring the stars of Southern States Wrestling. Bell time, 12:15 p.m. Calvary Baptist Church at 1238 Pine Street also welcomes you. Sunday morning, 9:15 a.m. for Sunday school, 10:30 a.m. for worship. Activities for all ages at 6 p.m. Sundays. Wednesday evenings at 6:30, 3D Bible study and prayer meeting. Make your plans now. Village Fest 2016, Saturday, July 9th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Borden Park, Kingsport, Tennessee. Free to the public. Everyone welcome.
Are you looking for classic Southern Wrestling DVDs from the days of promoter Nick Goulas, Southeastern Wrestling, or Continental Wrestling? How about DVDs from Southern States Wrestling featuring the legends of the ring and some of today's top stars? Maybe you are looking for the 3-disc set of Bill Dundee's career and memories, or the 2 published books by Bo James about his life in wrestling. Keep up with the careers and life away from the ring of the award-winning Dynamic Wrestling James duo. All of this and a lot more at kingofkingsport.com. That's kingofkingsport.com.
Welcome back to Southern States Wrestling Classics, and before we get into our big featured match here, you're going to see the Rock and Roll Express when they were the North American Tag Team Champions defending their titles against the Southern States Tag Team Champions, Frank Parker and Scott Sterling at the time, and in their corner, Pretty Boy Stan Lee, that you've already seen Ricky Morton have troubles with along the way. You also heard about it in the break there, kingofkingsport.com. Make sure you check out all the DVDs on there. Southern States Wrestling DVDs are on there. Goulas Welch Era DVDs, Continental and Southeastern and USA Wrestling DVDs, and don't forget my books. My first book, Do You Want to Be a Wrestler Kid? Highly rated on Amazon.com. Great read for anybody that's a wrestling fan or not a wrestling fan, as it's my journey through life in this crazy world of professional wrestling. It takes all kinds of people, places, and events that make up pro wrestling, almost 200 pages of just short stories. It'll make you think about being out there on the road. It'll bring a tear to your eye maybe and make you laugh. Guaranteed that you're going to love both those books. And here's the big one. Don't miss this, the history of Kingsport Wrestling through the 1960 decade, but we're also going to take 100-year of East Tennessee wrestling history lesson in this book. Dozens of pictures not seen in decades, some of them never seen publicly before. Week by week we go through the 1960s and look at Ron Wright and Whitey Caldwell and Don Wright and all the greats that came through Kingsport during that decade. It's a great read for any wrestling fan, any historian out there. You need it. Don't miss this. Get them all three. KingofKingsport.com. Now let's go to our feature match. It was the Fall Spectacular of 2013, celebrating 30 years of the Rock and Roll Express together as they came to town defending the North American Tag Team titles that they had won over in North Carolina just a few months earlier. Let's go to the ring right now as myself and Joe Wheeler call the action.
He's having a bad match with his jacket at this point in time, as best thing he can do is get on the floor and let this match get under the way. As I know the fans here in Mount Carmel are ready for this. Frank Parker's ready for this.
Here we go.
They've locked up collar and elbow. Frank Parker and Ricky Morton for the Rock and Roll Express. If anybody can do it, Frank Parker and Scott Sterling can. It's not that I want them to necessarily, but if there's any team that can put them down, these are the guys that can do it.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. What a team they have made. What a team.
Locked up collared elbow once again. Frank Parker pulls Ricky Morton into a side headlock position, into the ropes, and Morton shoot him off there. Parker caught his man.
Just ran right over him. Just ran right over him.
No question, Frank Parker, the larger man in this matchup, but how many hundreds of times have we seen Ricky Morton fight a bigger opponent?
That's right. Stan Lee's all smiles now. He's run from the jeers to the cheers. He's excited about his team.
Morton's come up ready to fight, got both fists balled up, ready to go here. Frank Parker taking a little back step here. He might have ignited a fire that he didn't want to here, as Ricky Morton now pacing about. Both men circling. They lock up collar and elbow once again. Frank Parker pulls Ricky Morton into a side headlock position, into the ropes and off onto the side here. And again, the shoulder block.
Just steamrolled him. Just ran right over him.
Well, we don't call him Frank the Tank for nothing. He's a big man.
That's exactly right. He got that name playing high school football, All-American fullback and nose guard. He played on both sides, offense and defense. Every play of every game for 4 years, Christiansburg High School.
No question, Frank Parker is one bad hombre, as they say. Ricky Morton right there, cut him with a kick, pulls him in a side headlock. Tag was made to Robert Gibson right here as the Rock and Roll right there. Double teaming him. As Sterling and Parker both seek the refuge of the floor. As the Rock and Roll
Lee is not happy. He's back to that depression state that he was in.
The Rock and Roll Express standing tall, center ring. Frank Parker, Scott Sterling, and no doubt about that. Robert Gibson now still having arguments with Stan Lee at ringside. As
if Stan wanted to get involved so much, why didn't he just notify Mac McMurray and we would have made it a six-man tag?
Right. Robert Gibson now got a full Nelson here on Frank Parker. I don't think this is going to last long. Yeah,
that's pure strength right there.
I couldn't even say it before Frank was already breaking out of that full Nelson. He's a monster in there.
Robert rethinking that movement.
There's no question Frank Parker, Scott Sterling have a size and weight advantage over the Rock and Roll Express. But these guys have got a tremendous amount of experience.
They got it back. He went for the roundhouse, but Robert Gibson outsmarted him.
That's that experience coming into play right there. Parker seeking the refuge of the ropes.
And look at the smile on Robert Gibson's face as Frank Parker went for the ropes. He just let go. Why take that extra step, extra bit of strength? Let him go. All right, kids, you want to do it? Let's see. Now here's Scott Sterling's first look in the ring at Robert Gibson.
And as you well know, Bo, both Frank and Scott have been part of tremendous tag teams throughout their career.
Yeah.
Both of them started off in tag teams, so they know what they're doing in there in a tag team situation, no doubt about it. Robert ducked right out of there just as quick as a hiccup on that one. He got right out of the way, and Sterling finds himself in the corner wondering what happened.
I'm going to tell you, the fan base of the Rock and Roll Express is unbelievable. Right here tonight in this building, fans from North Carolina, Virginia, all around the Tri-Cities area, and as far away as Charleston, West Virginia, come to see the Rock and Roll Express, and I've heard there's people even here from South Carolina as also.
That's true.
And
A lot of new faces here tonight.
Scott Sterling is using Robert Gibson's own hair to stay in that headlock. Blind tag.
Into the ropes here. Here comes Morton. High knee lift.
Patented Rock and Roll Express.
Morton now winding up on that arm of Scott Sterling as they have picked their body part on their opponent. Morton now going to work on him.
You can outsmart just about anybody that gets in the ring with you.
Oh, no doubt about it. These guys have been in there in the ring with pretty much anybody, any tag team you want to name throughout the years. And they're still standing, and that's part of why the speed, the agility, the quickness of Ricky Morton.
And they're a step or two ahead of everybody.
Morton bringing Parker back up as he's got that arm cinched up. And Parker went to the hair right there. Morton with a nice kip up and goes right back into that arm wringer on Frank Parker. These guys have not lost a beat.
Not at all. They're a step or two ahead of Parker. They're a step or two ahead of Scott Sterling. 4 or 5 steps ahead of Stan Lee.
Right. Frank Parker now getting his arm worked over by Ricky Morton as Morton now continuing to clamp down on that arm. Parker trying to get out of there.
Just a knee right in the breadbasket. And Stan Lee goes to trip him. Uh-oh, big slam. Oh, my goodness.
This is going to hurt. You know it is. Parker.
Oh, held him up there, let the blood rush to his head, and it just slammed him. Puts a boost and a sucker punch on Robert Gibson. Come on, man.
That brings Robert into the ring. That allows
Stan Lee gets a sucker punch in.
Parker and Sterling made the exchange there without making a tag, but the referee's tied up with Robert Gibson in the meantime. Scott Sterling now, he's got Ricky Morton in trouble. And here's that chant again, a rock and roll.
Listen to him. This play is deafening in here. Ricky trying to inch his way across that ring. One little bit at a time, trying to make that tag.
Sterling right there.
And another cheap shot. Come on, man.
They're going to make the exchange once again.
I don't think there was a tag there, just a big right hand.
Absolutely. Frank the Tank comes
and a bear hug.
He's got Morton in trouble. This is one way to slow the Rock and Roll Express down. Take that fire away from Ricky Morton, if nothing else, and slow him down. He's the quickest man in the match.
And he's just squeezing the breath right out of him.
A breeze. It was no problem for him to lift Ricky Morton right there. Scott Sterling comes in, catches this man with a hard shot as well. Stan the Man Lee at ringside. He's got his team working well at this point in time. They're staying focused on that lower back of Ricky Morton.
That's it. I don't think that Sterling is quite down as far with the hold that Parker was right around the waistline. Yeah, now I see he is. He's right in the small of the back, just squeezing him.
And you know every one of those vertebrae are feeling that pressure. Those ribs are feeling that pressure.
And he's trying to make that tag. Trying to make that tag. Trying to turn sideways to get out.
He got him. He got him.
Oh.
He got him with a hard right hand right to the mush. But it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. 2 of them now.
Sterling's holding on. Pushes Morton into the corner. Comes across.
Oh, kicked him right in the face. Was that the break that he needed? Was that the break that he needed?
Sterling made the tag.
There it is. Robert Gibson, a house of fire. How many times have you seen this over the years?
Gibson now cleaning house. He's got them both in trouble. He's got Parker and Sterling.
Sleeper hold.
He's gone to the sleeper hold, but Scott Sterling's coming around here and catches Gibson as Parker now is.
On all 4 men now fighting. All 4 men.
He's breaking down fast. Here they go.
Double drop kick.
That's going to probably do it.
There it is. They keep the North American. Oh, wow, what a world. Frank Parker just knocked Robert Gibson out, I believe. Frank Parker. Put a number on it. Come on, man. Stan Lee's got Robert right into the pole. And they're going to work on Ricky Morton. They're going to work on Ricky Morton. Come on.
They're putting a hurting on Morton now as both Sterling and Parker have got him. Stan Lee's got Robert outside. Robert just caught Stan Lee with a shot right there.
Robert's got a chair. He's coming to, oh, the ref's knocked down. That's going to cost Frank some money. Come on, man.
Thanks for joining us on Southern States Wrestling Classics from the Vault. Join us each and every week right here on KingofKingsport.com, on our YouTube, or on Facebook.com/Southern States Wrestling. Keep up with us on Twitter. You can find me at King of Kingsport or SSW Wrestling 1. So make sure you like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, and hope you come right back here next week, because we're going to take a look at father and sons that have competed in Southern States Wrestling right here. There's been 3 sets of fathers and sons, and we're going to zero in on one of them next week right here on this program. Also hope to see you July the 9th as we celebrate, and you heard about it earlier, 25 years of Southern States Wrestling. Make sure you go over to KingofKingsport.com. My new book is out there. Don't miss this. A complete and total history of East Tennessee wrestling for the last 100 years, and we take a look week by week at Kingsport Wrestling from 1960 to 1969. Also watch the Power Half Hour right here on YouTube each and every week as you can see current Southern States Wrestling action. Until next time, this is Bo James. We'll see you at the matches.
Hey guys, this is one half of the Rock and Roll Express, Robert Gibson, and Mountain Empire. That's your wrestling.